Hey everybody, it's Pam with Pam's Craft Boutique, and today we are going to work on a pretzel rod. We're going to do a bee theme, and I already had it made, so I just wanted to kind of finish it up. So this pretzel rod came from Vanilla Cotton Aromas, and if you would like a link to that, let me know in the comments, and I'll get that for you. And so what I'm doing now is I had wrapped some clay around it to give it that more dimension to it. And now I'm using Mod Podge and paint and just pouring it over. I could dip it, but I don't have a cup that's big enough to dip that into, and that would be a lot of wasted product. So I just have these little cups, and I just use either a spoon or a popsicle stick to dip it in, and it works just fine. So we've got that done. This is an impression mat that I got off of Amazon. If you would like a link to it, let me know. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of clay and press it in really good, and it gives you a nice clean impression on there. And then I'm going to kind of dirty it up with some chalks that I have. I got these at a yard sale. They're made by Stampin' Up, but makeup or chalk or anything like that, or even a dry brush paint will work. And I'm just going to kind of make it so it's dirty looking. And I'm just going to keep putting chalk on there until I get the desired look. Now I wanted to kind of make this a little bit smaller, so I'm just using my scissors to cut it down. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle or anything. You can turn it into a shape if you want to, but I'm just kind of cutting around the edges, nothing fancy. And then I'll use my chalk to shade some more on it and get it kind of grungy looking. And just kind of cutting it down. I wanted it kind of small. I didn't want a really huge piece on my pretzel, so I'm keeping it pretty small. And then I'm kind of cutting into like where the lines are to kind of shape it into the form of the impression that I got from the impression mat. And now just finishing up, making it look grungy. And that looks pretty good to me, kind of the look that I wanted. If you don't have brown, you can definitely use black as well. That would work. So any one of those will work. And so now we're going to take our pretzel rod. It's dry. And you want to do this when your Mod Podge and paint is dry. And I'm going to use a mixture of caulk and paint. Now I'm going to do white, yellow, and black. And they're all caulk and paint mixed together. And then I put them in a pastry bag so that I can do the drizzle like this. And I did the white, I'm doing the yellow, and then I'm going to do the black. And then I have nonpareils that I got from Play Code 3. If you'd like a link to those, just let me know. And I'm going to add those as well to the caulk and paint mixture, and everything will dry together. I'm going to use the same colors, black, yellow, and white. And then when I get done with that, I get my nonpareils on there, I'm going to take the clay beehive impression that I have, and I'm going to glue it onto the bottom of the pretzel stick. But before we do that, let's add some fake salt to the brown part of our pretzel rod. And this is Mod Podge, so I'm just going to paint some Mod Podge on there. And then I'm going to use Epsom salt for my fake salt mixture. All right, so this is Epsom salt. I'm going to just sprinkle it on there. And then when that dries, I always like to go back over it with Mod Podge just to make sure my salt on there is secure and it doesn't go anywhere. And so I'm just going to use some tacky glue, and we're going to glue our the impression, the clay with the beehive impression on there. And then I'm going to use a little bee button, and I'm going to glue it onto the clay. So that is it, guys. That is our cute little pretzel rod. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. And if you wouldn't mind sprinkling it out, that would be great. See you in the next video.